What's up guys, thanks for tuning into the channel. Bring you some Planet Coaster 2 content, and today's video is going to be the first of many where I check out your parks and your rides. And today we're going to be checking out Wilderness Springs, created by Sdanwolf, which is a really cool Viking themed, kind of medieval themed water park here, which is very different than what you normally get for water parks, which usually have a sort of pirate or a Viking theme. And this is just a great change of pace, and it just looks absolutely fantastic. Some amazing scenery here. I had an older channel where I did lots of Planet Coaster content, scenery and rides. I love games like this, and I really get into it, and I spend hours and hours and hours working on scenery. And one of the first things that I wanted to do was check out the water parks, and that's what I did. I dived into sandbox mode just to kind of see what was possible, but it's going to take some getting used to. The controls are pretty different, and there is a lot of options here. Of course, if you have the option, you should get this on PC, just because it's a lot easier to micromanage all of the scenery and the building and stuff. But the first game was very intuitive when it came to its controller. Of course, you had to work a little bit harder to do things that were quite simple to do on PC, but if you don't have the option, it is still very much a great game on consoles. It's just really going to take some getting used to on the PS5 and the Xbox consoles with that controller. But as you can see, you can create some absolutely amazing parks. Again, we got this Viking theme here. Now, there is a sort of bug going on right now, at least that's what the community believes, as to why the guests aren't using any of these slides. So if you know the cause of this, be sure to let me know in the comments so we can try and figure this out together as a community. Again, the game just dropped today. It has been out in early access for certain content creators, but now that we're all getting our hands on it, we're all going to we're going to be making our own parks, and we're going to have to figure this stuff out together. Just the sheer amount of customization and options that are available to us is going to take quite some time. But we can see this amazing wave pool here with the Viking ship. Again, some really awesome scenery, and I am Norwegian, so I do like the Viking theming here. Very different, really cool take on a water park. The buildings especially, the kind of the shops and these stalls, and they just look really fantastic, and they have some great visual variety here. But you can tell that a lot of work went into creating these buildings and the pathing and the theming. It just feels like a real place. It feels like a water park that you would probably see in like Disney or something, just because the theming is really that great. And it's also a great showcase of what is possible in Planet Coaster 2. Now, the controls are actually pretty different in Planet Coaster 2 when compared to its first one, so I kind of had no idea what I was doing when I was creating pools and slides. It's going to be a learning experience for a lot of us, but I imagine once we get a couple days, a couple weeks with this game, a lot of us will be able to start making some pretty cool looking stuff like this. And as you can see, the water slides are very realistic. They're not like too over the top. They just look great, and we just got to figure out why the guests are not using it. This is definitely a park that I would want to visit for sure. It reminds me a lot of a park in New Jersey that I go to pretty often called Land of Make Believe. It's a very small family theme park, but the main thing is the water park. There's a decent amount of slides, but it's not a super big park, both in terms of its regular rides as well as its water rides. So this kind of reminds me of that. You got a nice selection of little slides, some thrill slides, a couple different pools, stalls, places to eat, places to relax. This would be a really cool place to go, and I imagine that it's not done yet. We can definitely get a lazy river. We can get a couple more shops, a couple more thrill rides, a couple more maybe some more regular rides, throw in a couple flat rides in here, who knows. But I do really like the way the pools are set up. There is some issues with that I personally have, and I know the community, with the guests kind of obviously they're walking over the rocks and clipping through the scenery and stuff. I wish there was a way that we could set it to where they wouldn't go through that stuff if we want to put theming in the pools. But we can't have everything that we want. So far with Planet Coaster 2, you do have way more visual options and customization, so a lot of us are just going to be excited to get that at the end of the day. Again, this is a great showcase of what is possible, and as we start to learn what, the true possibilities with this game. The parks are just going to get crazier and crazier, and the rides are going to, look more realistic or maybe unrealistic if that's what you want to go for. But we have a very cool looking park here by Sdanwolf. Great showcase, and I can't wait to see more with this park. And we're going to be doing a ton of videos like this. I'm going to be diving into your parks and your rides. And if you want me to check out one of your creations, just let me know in the comments and I'll do that. And I'll also be showcasing my parks, my rides, beginner's guide videos, all that type of stuff once I do actually come to grips with the controls and the sheer amount of options that is available with Planet Coaster 2. But if you like this video, be sure to leave a like and a sub. Really helps me out. I do tons of game reviews on this channel, mostly cover RPGs, but we're also going to be doing quite a lot of Planet Coaster 2 content. So if you like a mix of games, if you like Planet Coaster 2, you like RPG games, maybe you stick around. And if you do, be happy to have you. Take care, guys. See you in the next one.
Lebensbeilagen.